And I said earlier, just before we went on that break, that we're having a new conversation, something interesting, something about craft, something about art, something we all love. I don't think there's anyone that does not like film.
Nobody.
We'll be talking about art of filmmaking, and for me, film is more than entertainment. It's more like a mirror, you know, something showing you, telling you something that you know you are already aware of, or something that you already know you know already. Joining us to have this conversation is Seun Arowojolu, an executive creative director whose work has redefined visual storytelling in Nigeria. You're welcome. Because you were talking about squatters.
Yeah.
That was why I quickly added that one. Okay. Now let's begin at the heart of it all. What makes filmmaking an art form? And what also separates true filmmaking from someone who simply operates a camera? You know, you said that is where you always stand behind the camera.
Yes.
So what separates real filmmaking and what happens behind the camera?
All right. One important part of thank you for having me this morning to start with, and good morning to all our audience as well. Filmmaking is, you just have to look at it at the base point. It's telling a story visually. It's a storytelling mode, and it entails a lot of skills, a lot of medium to tell this story. That means that you have to have a story written down in a script form. Then you have to utilize actors, cameras, sound, combine all these elements to tell a story that people would understand. So it's primarily a way of telling stories visually, in a very brief way to put it. Of course, becoming a craft means that you have to understand how people would understand the story effectively. Okay. Meaning that you have to use the camera to create mood, music to create that, to enhance emotion, actors to improve the impact of the story. So you combine all these things, and when you're behind the camera, that means that you are like, you play like a godlike way to control these things together. And when you effectively tell the story, it becomes a craft. It's not something that any person can just pick and just do. It's something that is just peculiar. You've mastered it, you've done it over and over, you've learned every aspect of it, and when you put it together, then people will say, wow, I enjoyed that film. When they say they enjoyed that film,
because you have put in your own uniqueness
into it. Absolutely. Yes, that's it. Every storyteller has their own DNA when they're telling a story.
How long have you been doing this professionally?
Wow. Over 15 years.
15 years.
Over 15
You're
years.
a guru in this. So you talked about story and telling a story. So what makes a story worth telling on screen? Because anybody can write a story.
Anybody can tell a story.
Anybody can tell a story. But what makes it worth telling on screen?
Thank you. So you have to ask yourself, the first person, when you talk about telling a story, then you have to ask, who's the storyteller? There has to be a storyteller. So the storyteller wants to tell a particular story. Okay. For me as a director, there are stories that I wouldn't talk about because they are not peculiar to me. They are things that I've not experienced. So storytelling is unique to the storyteller. So a storyteller has a perspective to an experience. So they carve them in something that other people should experience, what they've experienced or what they felt, so that they can see in a visual form. So storytelling is majorly, if you feel like there's a story you need to tell, then you should tell it.
Okay, we've been talking about storytelling, and you said that a storyteller would tell a worthy story if it is something he has experienced or he has felt and would want another or other people to feel.
Yes.
So the word fiction, where does it come in all of this? Because fiction should be, according to my own understanding, and I stand to be corrected, is something out of the blue that nobody has ever, or did not happen. Okay, so where does fiction now come into what you have just described?
Okay, so fiction is not isolated from the storyteller also, or from what the person has felt. Yes, it possibly can come from their imagination, which is a very strong tool. However, there's still a lot of elements of that person in that story.
In the story. Okay.
That's what makes fiction connect to us, because there are elements of humanity in it that we can relate to. Let me give an example. Terminator, produced by James Cameron, he had a dream about machines, saving the world. He just had that simple dream. So it feels like fiction, but he got inspiration from some point.
Don't we have machines saving the world?
So I mean, that was fictional, but it came from somewhere, and he could humanize it. That, of course, we want to be saved. We want to be in difficult positions and someone to come and rescue us. And that is logical for human experience. So fiction is not isolated from human experience. It connects with us.
Okay.
And that way, the storyteller can blend it together and still tell it. Of course, we also want to live in a world of fantasy. We just want to,
make up things.
Yes,
I feel good about it.
Enhance that. So yeah, if music does that, of course, visual also does that. So yeah, that's how fiction plays a role in that also.
Okay, as a filmmaker, a creative director, when you approach a new project, as in when a new project, is given to you, where does filmmaking, where does it begin? Is it from the idea, and what is the process of taking an idea and making it a movie, something everybody loves, something everybody can relate with?
Okay, there's two sides to that. The one side is that you have to understand what it means to tell stories visually. So, I mean, it took me years to be able to get to that level, to be able to understand how to tell stories visually.
Okay.
That's one part. The other part is the imagination part. So, because I'd grown in that level, I understand that if I have a certain idea, first thing is that I imagine that's the entire story. It starts from my imagination. So from your imagination, you start to put every little detail together. This is how I think this should go. But if you're not imaginative, you don't have imagination, if you can't think visually, because most of the things that we see physically, at some point they were in our minds. So you must have a strong visual mind to be able to put all these things together. That's where the movie starts from.
Okay.
Even if you get an idea, or like, let's use the example of James Cameron with the machine. It was an idea, it was a dream, but he was able to see visually. And because he's a pro director, how can we do this? CGI, what cameras do we use? Should we do this in post? Should we have miniatures on set? There are different dimensions to achieve that process, but it starts from the mind.
But when you have a project, each project you have to work on, do you believe, or do you have it in your head that, oh, this is going to be a blockbuster?
Absolutely, there's no project.
But not all movies. Not all movies are blockbusters. Or should I use the word blows?
Well, yeah. I mean, we've had different conversation about blow in terms of story.
It's relative, right?
Yeah, it's relative. That story that you think didn't blow, it might have impacted people's lives. And that's the essence of storytelling. Some stories might really do high numbers, but has less impact. And for as a creative, as a visual storyteller, that's what you want, your story to be understood, and you want your story to have impact. So I remember there was a project we did some years ago. When I was in my career, they used to laugh at me anyway. And Squatters. When we did season 1 of Squatters, I told them that I was pessimistic, that I wasn't sure it was going to work. But Squatters, as you know, it went viral and everything. So when we want to do new season, they would ask me, "Are you still pessimistic?" No, I'm not pessimistic anymore. I'm optimistic right now. So I've learned that every project I do, I'm always optimistic about it. Yeah.
Okay. So when we look at the movie world, you have the art of filmmaking, which is the behind the scenes part. So let's look at how, like I asked you how long you've been doing this, and you said 15 years.
Over 15 years.
Over 15 years.
Over.
Over 15 years. Yes, it's a guru. So let's look at how the filmmaking industry has evolved in Nigeria over the last 10 years.
Wow, that's a big conversation. All right, let me just go. I mean,
it doesn't take all our time.
You shoky.
yeah. So, funny enough, I had this conversation. I was explaining to someone yesterday. And so this is what has happened in the last 10 years. From in terms of movie making, you have to look at it that the cinema started from the silver bed. You know, not that it started, but they re-engineered the whole thing, and from
we're
there.
talking about film now.
Yeah, that's what.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Film. That's Silverbird Cinemas.
Silverbird Cinemas. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So Silverbird Cinemas. Then they also other cinema houses now came into the picture.
For my own generation.
Yes.
We've been watching cinemas.
You're only cinema.
You said 10 years.
Oh, did she say 10 years?
In the last 10
in
years.
the last 10 years.
Okay. Cinema.
Okay, so let me keep quiet.
Please go ahead.
No, I said, there was...
Okay, since she said in the last 10 years.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, that's why I'm saying that it came, that shift, before that, So, but after Silverbird Cinemas, then you had a lot of cinema houses also came into the picture. Then you now have streaming platforms also came into the picture. So it has changed. From I think one of the things is the audience taste and the quest for sustenance. Because when you talk about sustenance, movie production takes a lot of money. And the audience,
I can imagine.
Yes, now start comparing our product, our content with other content from other parts of the world. And we want to match up. And they spend a lot of money in their production. So the question is, how do we invest and get money back? So that has influenced the growth. So there has been large investment in the last 10 years, I must admit. And the quality of production also has gone up. Then one thing is technology changed the landscape a lot. So, I mean, that's why you have the streaming platforms and all of that. Yeah. So it has grown. I would use that word. It has grown. And with the level it is right now, it's just, I believe in the next 5 years, you can't imagine where it's going to, because with the input of AI coming into the picture right now, we're going to see a major shift in the next 5 years at least.
With the level of growth that you have acknowledged or admitted,
yes.
What are the challenges that filmmakers are still experiencing today?
Wow.
Just a few.
No, it's not a lot.
It's not a lot. Okay.
It's not a lot.
If you have your money.
Okay.
It's not a lot.
I think it's usually funding.
Funding.
Yeah, funding still, but and this is what I've always shared with my team over the years and people that we converse with, that money is not at this point the problem. There's one question that we've not always answered, and that is distribution. If you can make 5 billion from a film, then getting 1 billion will not be the question. It will be how soon can we make that money. So distribution is something that has not been coherent in the last decade. So you have a lot of niched distribution platforms. So it's not something that you can know that if I put this much in it, I can get it back.
What about piracy?
Piracy, you said, I don't think that's the major problem at the moment. Yes, there's piracy in it, but when you have solid distribution network, there's piracy everywhere in the world. I'm not downplaying that piece. No, that's not what I mean.
Okay.
That's not what I mean. But what I mean is that let us focus on things that can work. And you have, like I said, we have niched distribution. There's no unified distribution that I know that if I can get my film out and it will do numbers here, so I can now start focusing on improving the quality of my production so that the audience can enjoy more.
As a layman in filmmaking, in your industry, we hear the likes of Funke Akindele, December after December, making a lot
Yeah.
of money with her movies. Is there something she's doing differently? Because you're talking about distribution, which is the major challenge filmmakers are making. But she doesn't even come out to say anything. All we just hear is that we see her, doing all the work, going from state to state, country to country to promote her own movie, and then she hits the box, with something billion. What did you say?
Box office.
Box office, yeah, with something million. Is it that she doesn't face any challenges, or is it something she's doing differently?
I wouldn't speak for
I know you can, but
I wouldn't speak for her.
Because many of them come out to shout about piracy. That was why I brought up piracy.
Okay.
That was because also before they even start to talk, when they make their movies, they will we have seen these movies. We will not see.
You don't go to the cinema.
I will not watch it. Okay, I have people who say they have it on their phones already. So, as a filmmaker, what are you doing about it?
Okay, so in terms of piracy.
I want you to talk about piracy because it's an issue that actresses and movie people talk about a lot.
I don't want to use a generic answer for all this thing. I think maybe for me, it's for my own establishment, it's a different mindset.
Okay. When you say it's a different mindset.
A different mindset means that
one man's food is another man's poison.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes. Like, let's use, for example, the music industry.
Okay.
The music will be pirated. But the question is, how much got into the owner's pocket?
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So, if they are let's use, for example, that I have cinema A, B, C, D, and I know that, and I produce a movie, hypothetically, for 100 million naira. And I know that if I give it to A, B, C, D, I can make 500 million naira. So whatever piracy has added on that has given bigger audience to my film.
Okay.
But as a business person, I've already gained 400 million naira back. From 100 million naira investment, I've gotten 500 million naira back, and I have 400 million naira back. 100 million naira invested, 400 million naira profit. The total money that was gotten was 500 million. Now, if there's anything that was incurred, that piracy had gone off it, it adds to our promotion and publicity.
Okay.
The expansion of our stories. Do you understand?
Okay.
And sometimes those people have some indirect advertising or promotions for these movies.
Okay.
That's from that perspective. So the question is, how do we make sure that we make 400 million from these 4 people?
Okay.
That's the first question.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So when you put the likes of the filmmaker you mentioned earlier on, do you not have promotions play a large part? That means that we have a high conversion, meaning that if I go out and promote this film on social media, on radio, on TV, what's our conversion rate?
Okay.
What does the cinema also do? What are they doing to make sure that people come in there? So it's not just you watching a movie, it's the entire experience. You're not just coming there to watch a big screen, which other people say, that's what I'm going to enjoy in my house. But there's going to be a complete experience that will make me and my friends and my family come out at a certain time, and the numbers will go up.
Go up, okay.
So that is what we have to look at.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
That's what we have to look at. And because
distribution.
The medium that we deal with, music and films, they're easily pirated.
So that's to say that piracy will always be there, but what you should focus more is distribution.
Yeah.
Okay. Another aspect, or I don't know if maybe it's a kind of a growth for the industry. Now we have a lot of movie producers, we have a lot of YouTube movie producers, and so for you in the industry, what are the implications of this? Is it a win-win situation for the industry?
It's a win-win.
You get your money quick.
If you have a lot of producers, that means a lot of more stories, more competition, more opportunities. You can't, and it gives room for the quality projects to stand out. So the more, the merrier.
The more, the merrier.
So if you say, there's no, yes, there can be regulation, there can be all this and that, but personally for me, I think you can't stop storytelling. And people want to tell stories. I've seen some YouTube, some people that shoot film, some content on their phone, and I'm amazed that if they had, blocked this kind of medium, I won't even experience it and to understand this thing. So I think storytelling is democratic. It's something that you should be able to do, and if you can pull the tools together to communicate it in a visual form, then you deserve your audience and the attention that you're calling for.
So the sky is big enough to take it.
Yeah, something that really I watch in movies is the cast. How do you, because that is what you do, how do you come up with a dream team, fantastic casting, production, everything, even everything that goes on behind the scene? What does it take? How do you identify, especially for the casting, how do you identify, this person will fit this role? How do you know? Is it because of, this person had done this role before, or, her character fits into you? What exactly do you look out for to have that dream team, from casting to production to all of that?
Thank you for that question. I mean, yesterday we started another casting process in the studio for a project that we're working on. So this is very real. So let me talk about one of the, and I mentioned it when we were doing casting yesterday, that I had a particular project that some project you will miss it, some project you will eat it. You get it right. So, but there was a project I did 2 years ago or 3 years ago. It's called The Chronicles. It's a drama series. Again, I got the inspiration from a dream. I just saw a part of it in a dream, and I woke up. I wrote it down.
You had a dream?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I wrote it down, and I told my team, and they were like, "Oh, we like it." I said, "Are you serious?" So we started developing it and turned it to a full TV series, about 26 episodes. It was just a scene I saw, and I felt like it was strong enough to do something with it. So the casting. How did I know that the cast would? Let me just use that project as an example, because I had like great, all the cast I enjoyed working with all of them. They were all fantastic. 6 cast. So number one cast, number one process is I always straight open, no preference. If I would bring out my script, come and read it, without bias, I would see if you can interpret it properly. That's the first thing. If you can interpret, you might be a good actor, but you're not interpreting that role the way I want it, or the way we imagined it.
Okay.
So that's the first part. Next part is that for me personally, I always like to cast nice people. So
nice people. What do you mean?
Please define that nice people.
So you're going to be working with crew, you're going to be working with other actors. How do they blend?
Oh, fantastic.
So if someone has character, yes. So if someone has some kind of toxic attitude, it will tense up the whole environment. The crew might feel a little bit uncomfortable. The other actors might be defensive. So you have all that mix, and it will show on screen.
True.
So I always try to look out for people that I feel like, how they appear, how they talk to the crew, how they talk to the production manager, how do they talk to other actors. So we take our time to look at all those details. So when you put that together, number one is that they fit the role, they're quality actors. And number two is that at least they understand the process of filming. So yeah, the script first and foremost. Yeah, not to bore us with all the long talk, right?
Talk,
yeah. The script first and foremost, come and read it. The character, come and read it. And once you can deliver it very well and you're a good actor, sometimes some actors might not necessarily know how to act very well. But they are the character. They have the character. Someone might just come and very loud. They can't act. They don't know how to act. But you can see that this person is the character that we're looking for. So that's the work of the casting director.
You help them to
help them into it.
impact it.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. There's also another, it's a notion that I would like you to address as well. So sometimes when you see a movie, the faces you see, the cast determines whether I will watch or not.
Yeah.
And so you have some people say, these are A-list actors, or these are people we don't know and all that. So what are the implications of that too, and how it is affecting the industry? And I'd like you to correct that notion. Is that right?
That okay, people watch a movie because of certain actors.
Certain actors.
That's normal.
Okay.
Even in Hollywood.
So I should stop feeling guilty.
No, you shouldn't. Because when people say that, I said, do you know what it means for an actor to blow? The amount of work that actor has put into it in terms of promoting their craft, consistently going from one location to another. And so when they blow, you're telling them that they should be humble and they should be... And producers have to sell their movies. They need that face that people would pop. Do you understand? That's the other part. But again, for example, and so okay, let me try and be diplomatic with this. So, but because another challenge that we've had over the years is that, with all due respect to the actors, they're doing fantastic work, and some of them have migrated or they've grown to the level of a producer or even directors. So, but we hardly have a filmmakers industry at the moment. What I mean by filmmaker industry is in the generation of the previous generation, the Tunde Kelanis, the Tadio Gidon, that these are directors. So whatever they put on screen, you know that it's going to come out great. We also have some directors here and there, right? So when you have it like that, so it will not be an element of whether the actor is that famous or not, but because they're very good and they interpreted the role very well. But again, the movie, like we mentioned earlier, is distribution. So you're not going to put people in, you know, and they don't have one or two faces that they can relate with. So it's a combination of both. So you shouldn't feel guilty because actors, any actor that blew in Nigeria must have put sweat
So they
and
deserve
blood.
the accolades.
They deserve it, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, I want to talk about funding. You know, many filmmakers in Nigeria work with limited budgets. So what's your advice for creating excellent content with financial constraints?
All right, I was in one conference in France sometimes in October this year, recently, and I had one of this foreign was saying stuff. I was like, why is your film not like this? Why is your film not like that? And I sat and was with one of my partners, and I just kept, I said, why didn't you say anything? I said, let him finish. And I asked him that, are you ready to finance this project? He said, no. So are you saying that I'm going to sell my house, my car, everything, and fund this project, and I'll still be looking for how to make money back? So what I'm saying is that what you're saying is what what our money...
What you have. You're working with what you have.
Take. So don't come and tell me to come and do what my money cannot, because if the money does not come back immediately, you just hear my story. That's it. It will just touch you. Okay. That's it. Okay. It's just stories that touch, nothing else. So, but the thing is, that one thing I learned, and that shaped my career entirely. When I came back from film school, in film school we learned how to do very artistic films. So I did my short film, I played it on screen, and my mom was watching. And I realized that my mom would say, don't try you. And she was doing other things. And it was my film. She was supposed to sit down
and concentrate.
She was not. And so I mean, maybe, you know. Then there was one film that was not well made, that I can't even sit down and watch. And she was explaining the film for me and was sitting down. I was like, so I understood one thing, that the story is the most critical thing. It's less about the craft. The story.
Because you could relate with
the story. So from that moment on, that influenced Squatters. When I wanted to Squatters, like, no, the story is not about how grandeur it is. Keep it simple. But the audience must understand the story. So the heart of it, and that is not standing on any amount of money. No, it's about your story, how people can feel it. So it will not take all the energy on the latest camera, the latest light, the latest this. No. Just focus on telling the story. Then you start to grow with it. Where we were, like, first season of Squatters was 13 years ago. I mean, but now it's we've grown over the years. So just keep growing step by step before you know it. And well, that's a different conversation.
What have you found most rewarding in your journey as a filmmaker?
Me, I'm still curious about finances. Because, no, you said something that when you were talking to that white man in France, that where's your movie land like this? He said, should you use your money? Should you use go and sell your car, sell your house because you want to make a movie? So how do filmmakers approach funding, financing? How do you get money to make your movies?
I remember I did this before this thing became. I did that maybe some years ago. So number one is that in Nigeria, let me speak in Nigeria.
Yeah, speak for Nigeria.
You are going to borrow money if you don't have the money. You are going to use your money if you have money to start it up. That's just
you borrow.
Yeah, if you don't have it.
It's investment.
Yeah, it's investment. So you have to look for the money, to start.
So filmmakers don't get.
So the other grants, grants.
I was going to say like grants.
Commissioning.
Okay.
Or platforms commission you.
Okay.
They give you money to go and do that.
Okay.
But once they give you that, if somebody commissions you, it's not your content. It's not their IP.
Oh.
Yeah, like Skoda is my IP.
Okay.
Bets of a Fella is my IP. The Chronicles is my IP. So if somebody funds it, it's not your IP.
Your IP.
That means it's not your intellectual property.
Okay. Intellectual
You don't own it.
property. Okay. Oh, so if someone else funds,
if the person commissions you,
of course, the person who is dropping the money would also want some level of hold on the job. As well.
So if they commission you, but if they invested in it, that means you give them return on it.
Return.
So you must be able to tell them clearly, this is how we would make money from it. Sometimes it takes time before you make this money back. It might take 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. So the investor must understand that it will take time.
Okay.
Before, it's not a fast yielding process like that. So unless you've mastered it over a period of time to understand, because you've done it over and over. So the names you've mentioned, they've done it over and over. So they know how to tweak some aspect of it to make sure that it comes out faster.
From what you have just said, no, it's more cliche. It is that it is a profession where you cannot survive without passion. So the question I asked earlier, what do you find most rewarding in your journey as a filmmaker?
I think you've answered my question. So my own story is a little bit peculiar, and what is that I was in Obafemi Awolowo University studying accounting, and I left to go to film school in Jos.
You left?
Yeah.
What was your mom's reaction?
Oh, my dad's reaction. We didn't talk for almost a year.
Okay.
So
that's a bold decision.
Looking back right
the way
now,
I'm looking at it.
Bold decision.
Yeah.
But
You broke your father's heart.
No, now he's happy. He's so proud of me right now.
Because you have succeeded.
Yeah.
Or you're succeeding.
Yeah. So I remember when we opened our studio, our soundstage, and it was marveled. It was specialist, and that moment was it for me. And so to answer your question is that what do I find most rewarding? I'm happy that I'm living life on my own terms. I'm doing what I just wanted to do. I just wanted to sit down, write stories, and film them and let them come alive. So that reward is just something I can't put words on. I tell them in the studio that I don't believe I work. What do we do?
Because you're enjoying what you do.
I would just come here and just say, do you know the story? So the guy will come like this, the guy will come like this. Then we'll build the sets, and we can see that thing in our mind coming alive. And people like you say, and that was just something we thought about in one place, and it's gone global. So you're like, it's so rewarding. I love it. So that's it. I just live life on my own terms. I enjoy my own life every single day. It's the biggest, and something I'm very passionate about. I love it. So yeah, that's my answer to it. Okay.
Last question just before we go. Okay. For those young and aspiring filmmakers watching you now, what advice do you have for them? What does it take? Because you are saying you're enjoying it. It might not be that so for some other people. Yeah. So what advice do you have for them?
Well, thank you. I always use every opportunity that I have to share that with them.
Because mentorship is very, very important.
Oh, it's critical. It's very, and I hope that in the next maybe few years, I intend to do that intentionally. That it's not a smooth road. We are going to be filming the 7th season of Squatters next year. We didn't make
7th season.
Yeah, we didn't make money on. We started making money from Squatters on after the 5th season. Season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On 4 and 5 was even very tough. The audience were enjoying it. They were loving it, but we were not making money. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And so you have to learn every aspect of it. You have to be patient. And that's what I have younger people work with me. I said, just take your time to learn. Learn every skill possible. Don't put money ahead. No, you won't last. But when you start to make the money, it will feel as if you're not doing anything. People say, I didn't do anything, I was making money.
He has done the work.
He has done a lot.
He has done the work.
So learn all the skill. I have young people working with me right now, and I tell them, learn how to how to use sound, learn how to use the camera, learn how to edit, learn how to write. Learn everything. Leave money. Once you build value, people pay for value. That this is the value this person is bringing on board. And it's not about how much you're charging them, it's about how much they need you to be on that project. But if you do not build value, you do not learn, you are in a rush. I mentioned to you that I went to film school. I spent about 3 years in film school learning before I even came outside, and took like 2 years before we did, 2 or 3 years before we did Squatters. And Squatters from then till now is about 13 years. So it took a long time. It takes time. So you must be ready to learn, build your craft, then I'll show you at some point, definitely. You have that come. It will definitely come, trust me. All the people I've seen that I've done, all the people, I tell people, I want to mention the name, her name, what's her name? I only know, I remember her with the character name. I don't I don't know what that name. Ogumola. Bolaji Ogumola. Bolaji Ogumola, when people say, I'm like, did you know since when this girl has been pushing?
That girl has been pushing.
She was on.
She's a fantastic actress.
Yeah.
But she's not as popular as her craft.
Yeah.
She's not.
So, but now she's getting all the recognition.
I'm like, she's getting all the recognition.
She did Squatters season 1 then in 2012. So I usually remember by the Trisha. I'm like, look, I can't keep mentioning names. I can't keep mentioning names. This guy now, Chimeze Imo, he's doing well. And I'm like, it takes time.
It takes time.
Just
takes time. Do you act? Have you ever acted?
Oh yeah, I started as an actor 2003 with Tope Edowu on Shallow Waters. So on Shallow Waters had Moyo Lawal. I played the sub-lead. That was my first. So I said over 15 years. So after then, I just love being behind the camera.
And the camera.
Yeah.
All right, interesting conversation we've had talking with Seun Arowojulu. I hope I got that right.
Arowojulu.
Arowojulu. He is an executive creative director, and we've been talking about the art of film making. Very, very interesting conversation.
Maybe we want to ask too.
No, let's stick to our calling.
We would love to have you, even if for a cameo role.
Yes.
To enjoy the process.
The conversation group. We have one of us that acts, but he's not here today. Ajibola Jeshola is not here today.
All right. Thank you so much for your time on the conversation.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for having
the program continues shortly. Stay with us.
All right. Can somebody just help me take a picture?